Pregnancy is a transformative journey for a woman marked by physical, mental, emotional, and social changes. A woman's body goes through remarkable adaptations to accommodate the growing baby, and as such experiences hormonal fluctuations, weight and body shape change, challenges with sleep, and fatigue. Postpartum can be equally as challenging, as the body begins to recover whilst the rising demands to care for the newborn remain ever present. Find out how Surge can help support you during this time. So the difference between pre and postnatal is quite simple. Prenatal means before pregnancy and postnatal means after pregnancy. So there are a large number of changes that a woman will go through during her pregnancy, before and after, but primarily during the pregnancy, physical, mental, and emotional changes are ever present. Physical changes such as her not necessarily being able to lift as much weight in the gym. She will suffer potentially from a lack of stability. So it's extremely important that training programs are tailored and catered to women during this time, particularly during the first trimester where there is a large risk of miscarriages. Mentally and emotionally, those changes come about primarily through hormonal changes in the body, as well as a lack of sleep and fatigue and dealing through what's essentially another human growing inside your body, where a lot of the emotions that come about may be entirely out of the lady's control. I think one of the more common things that I have experienced with women going through pregnancy is that they quickly realize that what they were able to do in the gym prior to being pregnant is now extremely limited compared to that. Meaning the weights that they lift have to come down significantly during the first trimester specifically, where they're at the highest risk of having a miscarriage. However, this can then slowly progress over the second and third trimester as that risk reduces significantly and they get a lot stronger. So for someone who's extremely accustomed to lifting a ton of weight and can no longer be able to do that, psychologically that can potentially have an impact where she may feel that she's no longer making progress. Additional changes such as fatigue due to sleep disturbances from the growing fetus can impact energy levels of the woman on a day-to-day basis. This will then potentially have an impact on their mood as well. And we know for a fact that when you are sleeping poorly as well as have mood changes, this can then impact the decisions you make with the food choices that you make. And therefore, having to, one, eat for more than one person already, and two, making the right food choices can be quite overwhelming. So the first thing one can do for women going through pregnancy that feel frustrated and discouraged is to listen. Listening to them can go a long way because often you'll find that women will have a lot that they need to talk about or vent about or discuss during this time. So just being there to listen can often be extremely helpful. The second thing you can do is encourage them and remind them that this, whatever they're going through, is for the baby, right? The reason they got into this was so that they could have a child, and once that child comes into the world, it'll all seem worth it. And finally, remind them that at the end of this, they're going to be able to recover faster and come back much stronger. So personal training can help a woman during her pregnancy significantly simply because it's going to help prepare her for childbirth. So getting her stronger, particularly the muscles in and around the hip region that are going to be needed during pregnancy, will help go a long way, not just for childbirth, but then for her recovery as well. I think mentally, trainers can often offer an additional layer of support to the individual where a woman may feel more comfortable potentially discussing things with her trainer, knowing full well that they're going to have a non-prejudice or non-judgmental view on everything that she may share with them. The third thing that a trainer or personal training can do for women during pregnancy is to teach her about nutrition and lifestyle changes that she can start to make now that will bode well for her post-pregnancy and in the future. So I've been very fortunate to be able to train a client through 3 pregnancies. What I found with each pregnancy as a result of training was that she was able to come back a lot stronger and a lot quicker after each separate pregnancy. So she came back fairly quickly after pregnancy 3, even faster in pregnancy 4, and then within 3 months she was back in the gym after her 5th pregnancy. During one of these years, what was quite remarkable for her was that she was able to do a chin-up up until 30 weeks pregnant. So for women that may not necessarily feel like they can make progress in the gym during this time, you're still able to. It's quite remarkable what your body's capable of. So keep pushing, keep training hard, and you'll come out on the other side a lot better off. Naturally, your body shape will change. You are going to get bigger, but not necessarily out of shape. Remember that this is just part and parcel of being pregnant. Your stomach will grow in size, but if you keep training, stay on top of your food, and do all the right things during this time, that stomach will come back in a lot quicker, and before you know it, you may be able to see your abs again. I think as a trainer, it is quite gratifying to know that you are having an impact in one way or another during a woman's pregnancy. Seeing them come back stronger, fitter, healthier, in much better shape as a result of the work that you put in together during this time. In my opinion, I don't think there's any better feeling. So the biggest misconception I've encountered is that women should absolutely refrain from training during the pregnancy, which is not entirely true. And the reason is it only applies for women that have never, prior to being pregnant, embarked on a fitness journey or lifted weights or have experience in the gym beforehand. So if you have experience beforehand or are planning to get pregnant, my recommendation would be to get in the gym because it's going to bode well for you during your pregnancy and help you come back stronger. The second misconception that I've encountered is that you can eat anything you want and get away with it. This is not true. It's important that you still continue to make the right choices and eat nutritious food during your pregnancy so that you can support the healthy growth of your child. The final one that I've encountered, and it may not necessarily be a misconception or a myth, but quite commonly heard is that you should avoid eating raw seafood during your pregnancy. Now, I know some women that have consumed sushi throughout their pregnancy and some women that avoid it like the plague. And I think it comes down to individual preference in this case, but make the best decision for yourself.